Hello and welcome to my monthly Shape the Collection video for the month of February. This month I have many different series, some very interesting ones. We'll start with the English volumes. So first of all, Not Lives, Volume 6. I used to really like this series. Now in Volume 5 I think it fell off a little bit. It's still okay, only I think it's also complete, 10 volumes. Yeah, basically like people stuck in a video game, sort of like Excel World, rather than Sword Art Online. So if you're interested, check Volume 1 if you like it. Yeah, it's pretty much the same for at least 4 volumes. Next is something I wanted to get many months ago, but the mail kinda sent it back. And okay, Cage of Eden, one of the first manga I've ever read, like when I used to read from scans. And yeah, I've reread this first volume, and it's really fun, really great. Yeah, good art, fun story, and it gets pretty interesting later on. Next, Volume 9 of Dragons Rioting, a series again I haven't seen anyone buy. I really like this series. It's pretty trashy and maybe even horrible to some extent, but it's very fun. Like the first chapter of this final volume was very serious and it wasn't very fun to read, but then it picked up and got back to its roots and it was much better, and the finale is also great. So yeah, I definitely recommend trying this out, and if you like it, get more of it. Next, a very hyped anime series right now, Citrus. I was a fan of the manga way back when, just got it on a whim like most things. And yeah, I don't know, like a nice melodramatic romance story with this. It's a Yuri incest kind of series. It's pretty niche in terms of how, like, the genre. Yeah, but it's very well executed. So if you don't mind constant melodramatic moments, some misunderstandings, and of course the lesbian and incest aspects of it, definitely check it out. Next, Devil's Line, Volume 8. I was waiting for this also for a very long time. Again, got fucked by the postal service, but yeah, very good, like, mature take on something like Tokyo Ghoul. Interesting societal, like how society deals with creatures like devils in this case, which are basically ghouls or vampires. I think it's getting an anime series soon, so yeah, maybe watch it and then decide if you want to read it. It's a very good manga. Next, One Punch Man, Volume 12. Not much to say. As always, reading One Punch Man is a joy. Very fast read as well. Yeah, not much to say about it. It's fucking awesome. I definitely think everyone should read this. Next, Parasite, Volume 2 and Volume 3. Been waiting for these as well for a long time, because after I got the first volume in Loot Anime Crate, it was really good, and I decided to get a few more volumes to read them, and if they are also on the same level, I'll just buy everything and binge read the whole series. Very interesting stuff. Next, Twin Star Exorcists. I have yet to read this specific volume. As I said last time, with volume 10, the series fell very hard, and if this volume is not getting back to the fun parts of the early, like the feel of the early parts of the series, then yeah, I will definitely put this on hold, like in terms of getting it, because there are so many other series I'd rather read. So yeah, if you see Twin Star Exorcists next time, know that this volume gets the story back on track. Next, Inuyasha Key volumes 9 and 10. Last time I showed volume 8, I believe. I finished reading it, and like people were saying, sorry about the lighting. This series ended like a little bit underwhelmingly, but I still think it's a very, very good series. Like the art is like top notch from start to finish, and the story is also pretty nice. And this old dude is one hell of a charming character. Next, one of my favorite series, Sweetness and Lightning Volume 7. Let's show them off. Volume 7, Volume 8, and Volume 9. So this series is really great. Now in the winter months are already trying to go away here. But it's always fun to just binge a volume of this. Heartwarming, soothing, super cute. It's also nice if you like cooking. It has some recipes in it. Yeah, give it a try. Okay, now one of the special things here is Black Magic. As you can see, it's written by Masamune Shiro, the guy that wrote Ghost in the Shell and Appleseed and whatnot. A very influential figure on like sci-fi in general, but specifically like sci-fi manga. He has a name. This is his first published work, and I can only say one thing about it. No, actually I can say two things about it. One, it's one of the worst manga I've ever read. And two, it has a very, very interesting premise. I'll try and make a video about it, like a very short explaining like the whole setup and how he shows it through the manga and how terribly he does that as well. But yeah, if you're interested, I hope you can read the synopsis here. So yeah, this was published in Japanese in 1983 and in English in 1998. So it's a pretty old book. Very possible that it's the oldest one I own currently. Yeah, it's pretty nice to have still, even though it's one of the worst crafted series. This is just a guide to Japanese grammar by Takehiko. It has a free app, and the website is also free. I just decided to support Takehiko, and I really like physical copies of books and stuff that I read. So yeah, it's great to own. So definitely check it out if you're interested in learning Japanese. So speaking of Japanese, we'll move to the Japanese manga. So first of all, we'll go through the things I already showed in previous ones, like Air Gear Volume 4, the Omnibus, the Air Gear Unlimited, Lovehina Volume 4, the Bunko Wideband Edition, very good edition. Next, Magister Negi Magi, or just Negima, the prequel to Yuki Holder, or rather Yuki Holder being the sequel, and yeah, also a nice edition of 2-in-1s. So that's 4 and 5, volumes 4 and 5 of d.gray-man. This has an English release. Oh, by the way, Air Gear has a Kodansha English release. Lovehina and Negima also have Kodansha English releases. d.gray-man has a Viz Media English release, both single and 3-in-1s. One of my absolute favorite shonens, very well crafted, beautiful. Next, volumes 4 and 5 of Liar Game. Lots of 4 and 5s here. One of the coolest, like thriller, like puzzle series, sort of like, I don't know, like mind games, like Death Note. Yeah, pretty cool thing. Hopefully it gets an English release someday. Volume 4 of Kekkai Growing. Very hyped series, especially because of the anime. But yeah, very nice release in English. A pretty high quality volume. Next, volumes 3 of the regular edition and 3 of the full color edition of Nozoki Anna. Yeah, as you can see, it's very not safe for work, especially this one. If you pull the slip cover, you get like a special something. Yeah, very fun, ecchi drama series. And my absolute favorite comedy and my second favorite manga, Prison School in English. As always, I buy this just to support the creator. The manga has finished publishing, I believe, 28 volumes total, so I still have a bit to go, both in English and Japanese, but yeah, highly recommend everyone check it out, and if it's not for you, leave it, and if it's for you, man, you are in for a ride. Okay, let me just get it off. Just a moment. Okay. So next, volumes 8 and 7 and 8 of Dragon Ball. This is the Kanzen edition, the best edition a manga can have. Let's see if I can find some color pages. Super high quality paper and ink. Very good cover. Has a nice spine art. Yeah, just the best release you can have. And another Kanzen edition for Slam Dunk by Takehiko Inoue. Again, great series, and of course, fantastic volume, both in story and quality. So, again, if you are getting Japanese series, I'll say this every time, get the Kanzen editions. They're far superior to anything you've had in English, maybe except the Gundam The Origin vertical volumes. Okay, now onto some new and interesting stuff. So this is Yukito Sumi. This is like a little, I think it's like shonen. I'm not sure exactly what the category it fits, but it's basically about this girl being obsessed with not only obsessed but extremely skilled with calligraphy, as you can see, and she's pretty famous, and she is trying to hold a look she has garnered. Like, she's basically the idol of the school, big celebrity. Everyone's afraid to approach and stuff, and this guy is kind of forced into being the one that saves her face, basically, and they get close. It's a pretty fun series. This is only 7 chapters. It has a total of 12 chapters or 11, I'm not sure, and they were never published as a volume. So yeah, I have the raw scans on the computer, and hopefully maybe I'll be able to actually make my own volume that hosts all 11 chapters, which will be like one tankobon volume. So if you can check it out on the internet, there are, again, only this volume is translated in English in some scans, and the rest is raw, so be aware. Next, a series, Horicon. I heard, like, this is a recommendation from some people on a server I'm on, and this is basically a harem series, but from the perspective of one of the girls. So yeah, it's a very interesting premise. So it's still wrapped, so I don't know how it is yet, but hopefully it's as interesting as it sounds. And okay, next we have Donten Prism Solar Car. This is a manga. Maybe you can recognize the art style. This is a work of the writer is the guy who wrote Planet S, I believe, and the artist is Yusuke Murata of Eye Shield 21 and One Punch Man. So, like, the art it's really beautiful. I mean, maybe you can even find some resemblance to Saitama and other characters. Again, it's the same art style. And this is only a 2-volume series. It's complete. Has no English release. It does have scans, and it's also kind of rare in Japanese. A very solid series for how short it is, about solar cars, like solar panel cars. Maybe I can find a nice drawing. Yeah, like this spaceship thing is actually a car with solar panels on it. Very weird premise of some college kids building it, but it's very good in my opinion. Good character development for 2 volumes. Next is Lovehina. I already showed you Lovehina, but this is a different version. This is a new edition. It's basically just a wideband, like the... just a moment. Like the Negima ones I showed earlier. So this is basically the same type of release, two in one volumes, but the quality is, like, I bought it just to check it out, what it was all about, and I gotta say, compared to these small ones, like these bunkobons are really small, but the quality is much greater. Like, this is pretty garbage. This is, I think, worse than some English releases. Yeah, so if you bother to get Lovehina, either get the single volumes, which I'll show next month, and or these ones, which I think are even superior, the 2-in-1 bunkobons, these small fun volumes. So yeah, I was just again getting it just to check out the release. There's nothing really special about it. Yeah. And next we have Cross Game. This has an English release by Viz, a 3-in-1 and 2-in-1 release. So as you can see, I got volume 1 in the single edition, a very standard Shonen Sunday, Shonen Jump volume, and this one, which I bought because I didn't know what it was, but apparently it's just a 2-in-1. There are 2 volumes here, or like 1.8 or something, and the quality is even worse than the Lovehina one. Like, this is definitely the worst Japanese volume I own. Like, if we compare, I have all 3 different editions. These are all that, at least I know of, that are available. So if we go in terms of quality and which is the best volume, this one is definitely the best, a wideband edition, like 1.6 volumes. So, oh, got smudged by something, whatever. So, yeah, this one is the best, super high quality paper, like, basically like a Kanzen edition, just no color pages, except the ones here at the front. But really, really great release, beautiful covers, new art, so you're basically not losing anything. Then the second best is the single volumes, the regular volumes, because they are a good size and the quality is fine, like very standard. But this one, stay away from it, it's garbage. Yeah. Also, about Cross Game, I personally think it's not a fun manga to read unless you understand baseball, because baseball is a major theme in the manga, and I do not know anything about it, and it doesn't bother teaching you anything. So for entire volumes you can have a game and you're just lost waiting for it to end, so the character drama can continue, because Mitsuru Adachi, the writer, the author and artist of this series, is very good with drama. But again, waiting for the drama is exhausting in this if you do not understand baseball. So, yeah, be cautious. And almost the final one, an art book, Color Walk 3 of One Piece. Basically sketches, all the full color artwork you usually get in the magazine, and in grayscale on the volumes. Some color pages, I believe, the ones that were published in the magazine itself. Hopefully I can find it. No, maybe not here. But it's basically chronological. I believe this starts the... Yeah, it has Chopper in it, so it's already in Alabasta probably. Yeah, so just love One Piece. The art is always amazing. It may look like ugly a little bit, but when you get used to it, it's just stylistically awesome. Yeah, it's definitely past Alabasta. There's some Robin pictures. I believe these are interviews with Oda himself, and yeah, I'll be continuing to get these. I believe there are 8 currently. I think also Viz is releasing them in English, if you care. Like, it doesn't really matter, it's an art book. Like, the language isn't a big factor. So yeah, if you like One Piece, get these. Great. And the last but not least, I think this is one of the best purchases I made this past month, and it's an art book of Ken Akamatsu books, like Lovehina, Negima, I Love You, Yuki Holder, probably some other thing. Yeah, very I don't know, it's a pretty new release, so I'm not sure it's still wrapped. As you can see, I just don't have a good place to store it, so I try to keep it in the best condition possible. But it's maybe someday I'll make a video about all the art books I have, and I'll show you what's inside. So that's it for Shape the Collection for the month of February. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you checked out my video on Cat Diary. The first seriously edited video I made. And yeah, until next month, I'll have very many new and interesting series. Bye bye.